Okay, let me make myself comfortable. We shall begin shortly. Hello, first of all, welcome to the channel. My name is Paul. I am otherwise known as the Landsraad Project, and this video, as you may have guessed by the title, is regarding my record, or the record which I've put out. So this is going to be a little playthrough kind of video with some tidbits of how stuff was being written and where they came from, things about guitars, what I've used, gear I've used to help record this particular record, and hopefully it's going to be witty and entertaining as I can be. It might not work out very well, but you know, we shall see what we can do. So without further ado, I have the album queued currently, so I've not, as I say, I'm not sure how this is going to work exactly within the remit of copyright and stuff, so I'll probably have to play it quite low. I will set a link in the description below with where you can stream the album from, or if you wish to buy it, then that would be obviously, any support is obviously welcome. Then that way I can then do more. It would be wonderful if, you know, just to let somebody else hear something different, or a collection of music that hopefully has some sort of enjoyment of someone. That's kind of my plan. It's not going to be a gym workout plan or playlist, but it is, in my opinion, obviously I'm very close to it, so you know, I'm very aware of how good or how bad these things can be. So the album is called Every Good Ending Should Feel Sad. It's not a particularly catchy album title, but it's one that sprung to mind several years ago. I believe maybe even an ex-girlfriend inspired it. I'm not sure. Probably it makes sense that it would be someone like that. So without further ado, I am Landsraad Project. This is called Marching Up, and hopefully I may have to play it in the background, but we shall see. I have a sandwich too. Hopefully you have a coffee or beverage, whatever you choose. So I shall eat my sandwich. Lovely grilled cheese toasted. I'll see how much waffle I can do in between everything. I don't know if that's going to pick up well at all. Probably not, but we'll see. So, this particular piece of music came about, should I say, on a baritone. I have a Squire Jazzmaster baritone guitar. Sat down playing one night, and within about 45 minutes, this part of the arrangement, and the chorus part kind of all came about. Just flew out of me. Not 100% sure why. I might have a shit day at work, to be honest. For those of you that know or do not know, I work in healthcare. And some days are just worse than others when you're dealing with people. the only problem about the job sometimes. Everything that you hear, all the guitars have been recorded through a mobile phone app, which has been very interesting indeed, because it has a little editing details and stuff, so I can change different types of whatever. The guitar which I used for these recordings is a 12-string acoustic by D'Angelico, which I bought last summer. It's a 12 strings. It's fun, good fun, happy guitar. Believe it or not, despite the sound of this not being particularly happy, but then it's the general gist of these things. So yeah, it was all recorded on 12 string within the last 3-4 weeks maybe. All of these demos, of course, songs was composed years ago. It was just that I've never had the opportunity or the willingness, shall we say, to be able to put them all out. But I'm glad I did. It's like a bit of closure for this group of songs that I just feel they fit together well. 10 tracks on the album. And of course I will try and go through them all one by one. Now, there is an alternative version of this, which goes on for, basically repeats everything again at the end, except for the chorus. But I'd said to end it after that particular chorus because I thought it was going to be quite a long song, which it is at 5 minutes and 13 seconds. I'm really proud of this one, for obvious reasons. Just because of how quickly it came together and the tuning involved. I didn't say about the tuning. So on the baritone, when it was first written upon, that was in A standard. Now A standard is 5 steps lower than the normal E. No, probably more than that. Baritone is a longer extended guitar which has a lower register of notes. So it was written in A, if I recall. The tuning itself would have been a I think of A, E. I don't know, I can't remember, but I'll put a tab or something. I'll maybe put in a bit of description on the screen here as we look on. Track number 2. This is called The Sun Turned Up. Come myself heartburn, sorry. So this song well, this particular idea came around, I saw a video on YouTube, I think it was, maybe a couple of years back, and there was this and also the next song. As like a 2-in-1 mashup thing. So I suppose at this point it's got to be around about 15, 16, 17 years ago when I think I first uploaded it onto, I think, YouTube actually. So there is a version of me in a rather snazzy brown shirt, floral brown shirt, which again, maybe doing the rounds wasn't that wise of an idea. It was also pitch black, but I felt as though there was a point to record it, to play it, and to just get it out there, really. You know, it's been around in my head for such a long time. It was actually written for my old band, the Kamikaze Autopilots. Yeah, it's a great name for a band. We was together for about maybe 18 months or so. We played a few shows together. We did more than a few shows, we played a lot of shows together. Usual problem with having issues with kind of work, family commitments, etc, 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 and it never really took off for us, but I was okay with it. Come late 2013, 2012 possibly, I ended up moving out of London, so it made more sense just to cancel it for now, really. We just never got back together. My other guitarist moved to America, and again, family, other stuff just got involved. So the story with this song is that, again, another one I'm really proud of because of the weird tuning involved. So this has been written on in E standard, but I dropped the E down to a B. I raised up the A to a B, D the same, G the same, B the same. Top E I raised up to F sharp. That's why it gets the little ring out thing. I'm rolling a cigarette because I feel as I should. I'm not an advocate for anyone smoking. Well, I mean, if you do, great. Good on you. If you never start, then you'll never know. Which is a good thing. So, that was the song turned off. The next song is called Hour Times Loss. This is deep and personal to me. There are some lyrics to it. And again, this has been in and around the same time as the previous song, Sun Turned Up, which was called Turn Up the Sun at one point. So, with this one, the bridge and chorus have got lyrics to them which I have from a poem which I wrote for my dad, who passed away when I was much younger man. Yeah, with ashes in our hands as we throw them to the land. We'll never see your face again. My whole thing, memories will always remain. Our time's lost, another time's gone. And that's why I don't sing, because I can't really. I do try, but I'm just not very good at it. Sorry, excuse me, I just light this up. Yeah, so those lyrics came from what I put on the wreath for my old father's funeral many moons ago. The song itself has been lingering in and around my mind for, as I say, 15, 16 or so years. Originally, I was going to do a proper big full band version of this, and I have a couple in drafts on my laptop, which just never really got round to finishing off or getting as close to completion as I would like to have done. Whereas with this one, the way the guitar sounds, the 12-string sounds, is perfect for this. Acoustically, it just works. A lot of people who hear this say that it is their favourite song, and I can respect that. I like that a lot. Again, this is 4 minutes 23. There was actually a plan to do this with the Kamikazes. I believe Shane, the singer, he had a rough verse or second verse completed for it, which was great. We just never got around to finishing it off and recording it. Like most of those songs that we had. There's still, I think, another one. Now, I believe there's only one more song from that particular era, which is coming up in a little while. So it's just a very emotive song, an emotive piece of music that just came out of me. Something which I never really put into words, kind of how I feel about things. I just pick up a guitar and just play, and everything comes out of me that way. It's my way of coping, I guess, and has been since I was like 15, 13 maybe. Well, whenever it was I started learning. Okay. The Pirates rise. So this is the most recent, I think. Yeah, I'd say this is the most recent song which has been composed, written. This came on about in a rehearsal room called Pirate Studios down in Croydon. Me and my friend Kev Sifu, we played in a band years ago called Tanker, and it was a wonderful time. I mean, anyway, we kept in touch, and every so often we would go for a little jam session somewhere. So, on my first EP, which you can find on Bandcamp, there is the original end part of this song, which we did at the studio, which we happened to record at the time. Again, it's just another thing we never really finished, but it had a lot of potential. Sometimes the potential isn't always going to be there or met, or the expectations happen, or demographically in a relationship, the friendships change. It is what it is, sadly. But yeah, this is just a really cool, fun. Again, another very weird tuning. I think this is down to D, G, D, G, maybe B, D, I think. I don't know, something like that. No, I think that's like open D tuning or something, or open G tuning. I'm not 100% sure. My musical theory is not as good as it once was. I just know what sounds good, and this sounds good. So there's a little bit of a faff around this stuff, but this version was recorded in where was it recorded? I think somewhere in South London. We met up. I think we met at his. So it was either at his or at mine in Croydon, and we just, again, we meet up occasionally just with a couple of acoustic guitars and just play music, have a bit of a drink, you know, chat, shoot the breeze, you know. We did like a load of different funny covers as well, which are staying well and truly hidden on my hard drive. Thank you very much. Because they're not very good. Oh, they're great. Very entertaining, but not for everyone's consumption. Which I'm happy enough with, so. Again, there is another version of this too, which has kind of a proper backing tracks, drums, bass, loud guitars, and a solo which is nothing like this one. It's more better notes, but more better. There are better choice of notes being employed as I played it. Obviously, this was me and Kev as we sat playing guitar. And that was his voice that you heard crooning a little bit, trying to come up with some sort of vocal melody line. I don't know if he ever... Actually, I don't think he did come up with any lyrics for it. You know, the reason why they call it The Pirate's Rise is because the song came from Pirate Studios. Obviously, between us, it sort of just appeared organically, and it was really, really lovely. Anyway. The next song on the list is a song called Chimera. Now, this is the only one with me singing on it properly all the way through it, so make of that what you will. Chimera. Obviously, I don't really know how to properly go through this one, as this again was written. This is a Kamikaze Autopilot song, as it's written in the linear notes. Shane Chester was my singer at the time, a much better singer than I am, and he was also the chief lyricist, as I'm not much of a poet. Not really, anyway. I don't rate myself at all, so at that point in time it just made sense for him to be given. The music was already written. It was around this time Chimera was kind of conceived really lyrically, conceptually by Shane. He wanted to use, I think, a lot of the voice. Has like a lot of wrongdoings going on in the world, a lot of politics. We wasn't a particularly I'm not a particularly highly political man. I have different opinions, which I tend to keep to myself, as a lot of it doesn't involve me or matter to me, and that stance has held me in good stead over the years, I think. But yeah, at that point in time, it was where the Conservatives and the Liberal Democrats had to come together. Chimera being, of course, a mythical man-made beast put together to destroy everything, which at the time is what happened, and it's kind of still going on. Nothing really changes. So this was kind of a little bit of a shout out to that. So there is a version of this track with Chain singing it on the interweb, netweb, somewhere kicking around. As we did let me think. So we did a radio set. We did a session for Shoreditch Radio, the lovely Femke. We got invited in to do her show. She loved us. We loved her. Still love her. And so we had a bit of a chat. We went through the name of the song, blah blah blah, how it all came about, the band name, all this wonderful stuff, and it was a fun experience to kind of just be involved in a very different type of studio, performing in a live setting. I played this particular version of this particular song on a Yamaha acoustic guitar. I can't remember the make or model number, but it was loaned to me by Billy Inkin, who is another man who will come up quite often, I think, but not in this video. Maybe at the end song I might talk about Billy. Next song is called Valentine, which, you know, I think there must be some sort of, I believe this came around, ironically or unironically, at around about, I would say, mid-February, at some point a couple of years ago, where I was just sat down playing some noodling around, and again, another weird tuning, obviously. Chimera is in standard tuning, by the way, so you can learn to play that one at home without having to mess up your guitars, change your tunings, intonations, and other such like lark. So this one is an interesting one. So it's in E standard, so E, A, D, G. The B goes up to a C, and the top E goes up to a G. Now that's a bit of a stretch. I use heavy strings. I use 52 to 11s normally on my guitars. My acoustic is a 13, I believe. So I do quite often detune my guitar down a couple of semitones, maybe down to D standard, sometimes down to C sharp standard, depending on whatever tuning I have going on. For this song in particular, and the next one called Hematite, I've definitely used a lower tuning, a lower standard than E. It just makes more sense. It's just easier for the strings to handle, and I can kind of hit it a little bit harder if I need to, which is always good. It's always good fun for playing guitar. This one goes on quite a bit longer than I remember, so, or more than it was written for. It's actually it's still not that long. It's still only 3.5 minutes. So I suppose this is my idea of writing a pop song, I guess, in a way. It's just something happy, joyful-ish. It's nothing particularly introspective or, whatever it is that may or may not be involved in introspection, where it comes from emotionally as they come out of me, as most songs do, or did at that time. So it's probably about 4 years old, 3 or 4 years old. quite recent, but not as recent as others. So, and again, the 12 string just helps with the ringing, and I like it. I do hope this is enjoyable for everyone. I would hate to find out it isn't. I mean, obviously it's going to be quite a long video, so I'm just hoping that everyone's kind of all happily entertained. Next song, Hematite, and again this was from that similar kind of time period. Same tuning as the previous one. Very different feel to it. And it's awkward as hell to play. Very fiddly, as you could probably tell. Somehow I managed to keep it in time. So yes me. Well done. One of these songs where I never got around to finishing lyrics for. And yeah, I know there's something really nice and golden in there that may or may not have something, but then I'm just going to sit and stew and wait forever until I do manage to come up with something, or unless I give it away to somebody else to then come up with their own thing, which is possible, I guess. I feel a little bit awkward listening to this back actually, because there's always going to be a very small part of me which thinks that what if I could have played this a bit better, or done this, used a different phrasing here or timing here or whatever. I've always been not perfectionist, but I'm always very, I have high standards of what I like and how I play, and if things aren't quite right, then I don't necessarily want to release them. And I think that that's fair to have a good quality assurance or good quality control over what I do and what I don't do. Something just beeping outside, which is nice. So yeah, always good. I don't know if I should fast forward this one, because this is not really like I love this song. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with this song, should I say. It was an idea that, I don't know, it's something about it just makes me feel a little bit like, a little bit sad, possibly. But then the chorus kicks in, it's like, oh, okay, I did this? I did this. Me. It came from me. Yeah, no one else was involved in the writing of this. So, in fact, with any of the rest of the songs within this, I could argue that Blowing Your Mind, the final track, is potentially has something else going on in there that I could have included on there, but I chose not to do it with this particular release, because there is another release of it, not this song but the final song on the album. I'm going to skip the rest of this because I know this one, and hopefully you will sit down and like and enjoy it still. Maybe. It's a long one, this, 5 minutes 9, and it can go probably another 30 seconds actually at the end, depending on how I want to end it. So yeah, I'm kind of looking at the, let's see, what's the word? I suppose there is potential that I could do these songs live at some point or another. it would be quite ambitious of me to do it on my own, and it would be ambitious for most people who would want to listen to it or come along and check it out. But I'm open to suggestions, you know. If I can potentially get a band together, then that would be great. But if I can't, then I won't. And I certainly won't lose any sleep over it. I've done the hardest part already. The songs are written. I don't need to then go back and get a new band and then rechange parts and blah blah blah, re-record, etc. Maybe I should. Different perspectives. Another cigarette. Okay, the next one, it's called Alone in Disrepair. Which I think this one's a bit of a strange title, and I'm not 100% sure. I presume I must have just been feeling quite alone at that particular point in time. Which is fine, because it happens, but this came around shortly after, well, no, it would have been before, let me think. It's over 10 years ago, easily over 10, 12 years ago, I would say. I'll put this down towards. I do have a recording, do have a video of me playing this in, when I was in Peterborough, which would be around about 2012, 2013. So there was another chance that this could have been a Kamikaze Autopilot song. I just never got around to showing anyone it, really. I just kept it away, really, because it was an awkward tuning. Again, this is the another awkward tuning. Shock horror. That'd be me. So again, it would have been drop D, so D, G, D, G, G, D. It's a weird one. It's a weird one, but it's one of my favourite tunings that I use. I use it on this one, and I use it on the last song as well. And there's another couple more that I've not got round to recording yet. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not happy with the overdub guitar. I'm not necessarily I'm not particularly happy with the playing either, really. This is one of these songs that I don't think really works well on an acoustic guitar. This part works fine. Part of the chorus part works fine. Just the little riffy intro thing. No. And this would have been written on my old Les Paul. Much missed guitar. Not entirely sure who got it, but I know someone did. Yeah, that's my ex-wife decided to chuck all my gear out, so thanks, Han. Annoying. So I lost that guitar, I lost a few pedals, and what amp did I have then? I had a Marshall. Might be a valve state Marshall. This was very nice little thing. But I shall not digress. I shall not reminisce about the past and what happened at that particular point in time. Now, it's life, right? Life has ups, downs, meanings, loss. endings, and yeah, even good endings can feel sad. But, okay, this is called Moonlight. Another one I'm very, very proud of. And this is actually probably a little bit longer than it should be too. Or maybe sometimes not long enough. I did actually want to put this as a closer, but then I got I kind of had my mind changed a little bit. So this would have been written about 8 years ago, potentially in Poland, of all places. Oh no, it wasn't in Poland. I was with my Polish ex-girlfriend. We was living in South London, quite South London, and this song again just kind of came about. Really, just sat playing again on the baritone guitar. And it sounds great in drop G, which is what I would have put it in. Yeah, it's just crazy tune. So it would have been G, God, G, D, no, G, E? Something like that. Silly. Yeah, G, E, G would be the bottom 3 strings on that, and I think the final open A was down to G as well. So, which was great, a great idea for tuning, and being able to play some of the chordy bits, more of the arpeggiated parts and the chorus. It just makes it so much nicer to play in a different register, different inversions of chords rather than just power chords all the time, you know. Now this part was quite a newish revelation to me. I will speak more about Cipher again and how we used to have like little sessions. Actually no, this will be the last time I speak about it, because we had a session and played this as just to play a song really. You know, we would kind of we would each bring another song into play, sort of thing. And this is one that I just had to kind of get out of me and kind of just played around with the ending part. And I can't get the solo right, so I didn't bother trying. There came something kind of, again, flew out of me, heat of the moment, kind of pure inspired, you know, moment within a room. But this is good. I like the way the ending kind of came and built and built and built and built and built and so on and so on and so on. Got a bit quicker too. Again, it would suit a bigger band situation with proper loud, distorted, angry guitars and booming drums, bass lines and stuff like that. It's just I never really got used to the ending. The ending I think was partially inspired as well by him, so. The main guitar line as well is highly influenced by my vitriol. So thank you Sam and thank you Seth for existing and creating such incredible music on your albums, Fine Lines and Secret Sessions. Now, final song of the record. This is called Blowing Your Mind. Because when I first came up with it, I showed it to my friend. Mate, you're trying to blow my mind, are ya? This is Billy. So, I'm not doing his voice much justice there, or his accent. He's a southeast London lad. A guy who I spent a long time working, a little bit of time working with. But then we ended up just sitting down, really chatting shit and bonding over music and football. As you do. No, I was like, what, 24, 23, 24 when I met him, so it was kind of just the perfect thing, really. We made like an EP as well, or a bunch of songs. He had like 4 songs, I had 4 songs, and this was one of them. We also, at the end of this is a very long version of this song. As per a special request from a very special person, so thank you, and I do appreciate that very, very much indeed. I think it just finishes off the album nicely, so yeah, thank you. You know who you are. Much love, much love. The original ending, or this was the original ending on, I can't remember the name of the album or the EP. It was like something like Eclipse of the Moon or Eclipses of something. I had nothing to do with it, really. I just put a couple of songs together. Anyway, so I played this, and the other track on after that is called Silent Night, which was just a nice little kind of nursery rhyme kind of feeling thing just to finish things off. So, not based on Silent Night, Holy Night, all of that, and this is shite. I'm not good with lyrics. I'm not good with lyrics, so I'm not even going to try and defend that as an option. Yeah. So I think because I know that this now goes on for another 4.5, 5 minutes, and there's nothing really new there, so I'm just going to pause it because this video is going to be nearly an hour long otherwise, and I don't think anyone would really want to do that, would like to spend that much time with me. I don't think. And if you do, then congratulations to you. Give me a call sometime. I'm not busy. I'm clearly not busy. Right, so, as I say, this is my thing. This is my album. This is my album called Every Good Ending Should Feel Sad. And it's been an absolute pleasure if you've managed to stick around and watch all of this. I will try again. I don't know if I can manage to get away with cutting out like the last half of the song, but I will. So if it'll just end, then you'll know you're just stuck with me talking. And if you're getting into it, then as I say, there are links in the description below. Or in the comments or wherever I'm going to put them. I'm not sure yet. I'll see whatever's easiest. Yeah, you can give me a follow on all of your socially sitey placey things. Landsrad Project. Landsrad Project. RAAD for Landsrad. I know it's an unusual name, and maybe one day I'll explain why to someone who would like to know. For those that know, they know. Okay, so until the next time, until the next record that I do, which hopefully won't be too long. It's only taken me, 42 years just to put out a record at last, or at least like a full album. I've got an EP also on my Bandcamp site, which I've set it up so you can pay as much or as little as you want. Or if you just want a cheeky freebie, let me know. I have got free downloads as well codes available if anyone is interested. Many thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. See you around.